Hello everybody, welcome to Just Wanna Learn. My name is Mario and I'm happy to be with you again. So in our last two videos, we have been talking about learning. We already know that it is a natural process and we already know that most of it happens unconsciously, right? So in this video, we're going to talk about how to plan a study lesson and how to plan a review or practice lesson. Research suggests that in average, we have about 25 minutes of concentration span after 12 years old. That means that if we plan a study session that does not go beyond 20 minutes, we can guarantee that our full attention will be on the subject that we're trying to learn. Now, that may seem like very little time for some people, but remember that our goal is not to cover material. Our goal is to learn effectively, making the best use of our time. And if after 25 minutes I am not capable of focusing, it just doesn't make sense to keep on studying. Now, depending on the level of complexity of what we're trying to learn, our concentration span may be reduced. So you have to be on the lookout for two specific signs. The first one is when you're trying to learn something, let's say that you're trying to learn a dialogue in another language. And at first, you notice that you can read some of the sentences quite fluently. But after a few minutes, you start making mistakes in those sentences that you could previously say without a problem. Or let's say that you're reading a book on law, engineering, or medicine, and you're understanding everything you're reading to a certain point, and at a specific paragraph, you just cannot focus on it anymore. Even if you read it 2 or 3 times, your mind seems to just go somewhere else. When that happens, that means that you cannot focus on the subject anymore and you can just go and do something else. I would suggest water the plants, walk with your dog, or do anything that is relaxing for your brain. And then you can come back to it and do another session. So at any time, feel free to break down the information in smaller pieces so that you can process it better. Well, once I've had my study session, what do I do? Well, in order to answer that question, it is convenient to look at our forgetting curve. What is that? Well, the thing is, one of the main functions of our brain is getting rid of information. You see, our brain can actually process a lot of information, but it's not practical to keep it all. So our brain decides what pieces of information it can get rid of. And it makes that decision based on how frequent that information comes up. So 24 hours after my first study session, I will have forgotten 50% of the information. After 48 hours, I will only remember about 35%, and after 72 hours, I will only be able to remember about 20% of it. But if I practice or review the information that I learned during my study session within 24 hours, I will extend that time to 36 hours, and I will now be able to remember 65% of it. If, again, within those 36 hours, I practice or review the information again, I will extend that time to 48 hours, and I will now be able to remember about 75% of it. So you see the pattern. So what's the best learning pattern? Well, I will give you my thoughts, and please feel free to adjust it to whatever feels more comfortable and productive to you. I would have my study session on Monday, and then 1 or 2 review sessions on Tuesday and Wednesday. I would not do anything on Thursday, and then review again on Friday, again skip Saturday, and then lastly review again on Sunday. If you do that, I can guarantee that you will make any piece of information memorable, or you will be able to reach a very comfortable initial level for any new skill that you're trying to acquire. But let's say that the dialogue was way too long for one study session and I could not finish it within 20 minutes. Well, the truth is that whatever I studied on Monday, by Wednesday will be very familiar to me. So since I'm not practicing again on Thursday, I can have another study session on Thursday for the rest of the dialogue, and they just follow the same pattern. So we have covered frequency. In our next video, we will cover engagement, meaning what do I do during a study session and what do I do during a practice session. Thank you very much for your time, and I will see you in our next video.